Yes. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the morning kickoff with Unbiased Opinion. I am your host, Tony, aka the Couch Scout Extraordinaire, aka Pastor Trenches. Some may even call me Mr. Blue Velvet. You understand? So, like yesterday, we're gonna shake a little honey from the tree today. So you know we're about to have a good time as usual. Day 2 of Proof Week. So now before we kick it off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, share the content with your family and friends. And if you want more exclusive content, check the link in the description, all the links to my YouTube, Twitter, and Patreon page. And if you want to become a member of the Patreon page, there's a link there as well. Okay? All right. So remember, Unbiased Sports Talk is now on the Carolina Armchair GM Network. So let's get into it. Let's see, Candy Girl. What's up, Candy Girl? I appreciate you showing up for the second episode, morning kickoff with Unbiased Opinion. Hope to see you here on the regular. I'll be here every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. So, my goal is to create a good vibe, with people that just getting up in the morning, whether they're taking the kids to work, taking the kids to school, going to work, coming home from work, in the gym working out, or just, going about their morning, getting their day started. I hope to give you good vibes and good feelings to get your day started. So that's my goal. All right. So let's start with the facts. Yesterday was about the Panthers earning a different standard. Today is about Bryce Young proving what level of quarterback he is. That's the difference. This is not another conversation about whether the Panthers are getting more respect. We already handled that. So today is about the quarterback. Has Bryce Young improved? That's a real question. He played steadier football, gave Carolina more of a competitive quarterback play. He gave Carolina more competitive quarterback play, and he helped move the conversation forward. But this is proof week, so we are not stopping just at progress. All right. The real question is not just whether Bryce Young got better. The question is whether Bryce Young is proving he can be Carolina's franchise quarterback, or whether he still is in the stage where the Panthers need more evidence before making that claim. And I believe that's a fair football conversation to have. It's not about how you want to hype him up, not about making excuses. No, paying attention to the media spin, the noise from the outside. But today's question is just a simple one. Is Bryce Young ready to go from promising quarterback to proven franchise quarterback? I believe the progress is real. The proof is still required. Okay. So let's see where I have it at. So the first topic of the day is definitely Bryce Young's next step. Game manager or franchise quarterback. All right. So here's the facts. Bryce Young improved his production and stability. Carolina was more competitive with steadier quarterback play. The conversation has shifted from whether Bryce Young belongs to what level of quarterback he can become. Probably sound like I written that wrong, but it's whatever. The next step is not just improvement. The next step is consistent production. If you have ever heard me talk on any platform, mention it, talk about it, consistency is key. And I'm not the only one who feels that way. So let's put it in its proper football context, all right? Think about it like this. If we're just talking football with the fellas and ladies, a good game manager is the guy who doesn't mess it up. He protects the ball, keeps the offense moving, take what the defense gives him, and puts the team in a position to win. But when you start talking about a franchise quarterback, that's a different level, right? That's the guy who can still make something happen when the first read ain't there and the second one ain't there either. That's the guy who shows up on third down and keep drives alive. That's the guy who can feel pressure, move around, and still deliver the ball. That's the guy who also has that's the guy that also controls the pace of the game, when to speed it up and when to slow it down. And when defenses try to get tricky, rotating coverage, going, especially on the back end with the safeties, or try to trick you from a pre-snap to a post-snap read, or take away the easy stuff. He makes them pay for it. So yeah, Bryce Young got better. That part is real. But the real conversation is whether he's starting to show those franchise quarterback traits. All right. So before I bring up any guests, if anybody wants to come on to the panel, just let me post the link in the chat. So get it right here. Just 1 second. And then we can get this kicked off and have a good old conversation, good old debate, if you will. So let me read a few more comments and give anybody any time to come up on the panel. D Cash said, Tony, what is the E? D Cash. Shout out to D Cash. That's my boy though. He always shows love no matter what panel I'm on, and comment in the comments. He's one of the first people to reach out. So I appreciate that, D Cash. Thank you for coming back for day 2. With the morning kickoff with unbiased opinion. Let's see who else we got here. Kevin Hubbard 9619 said, good morning, Panthers Nation. Top of the morning to you, fellas. Top of the morning to you as well. I have to always remember when I say that, it's not morning time where I'm at. Okay? It is not morning time where I'm at. So it's like 3:00 in the afternoon. So top of the morning to you guys back in the States, especially on the East Coast, getting your day started. I pretty much had mine started about 6-7 hours ahead of you guys. Gerald Sticks, hey, I'm glad you showed up today, man. Appreciate you. He said we are getting real close to the season. I can't wait. I can't wait neither, my guy, because a lot of the questions that Panther Nation has or have will be answered real soon. A lot of the speculation and overthinking and becoming delusional, as Will Robinson would say, a lot of those things can be tempered down into realistic expectations, if you will. I think we'll get a better picture when we actually see the guys on the field, especially in training camp. I'm really excited about training camp this year, and watching particular guys, see how they perform. Okay, Gerald said consistency will earn him the franchise player label. Hey, you said it, Gerald. Hey, I'm right there with you. I think that is a very strong possibility. Yeah, that's a strong possibility, because I can just go into a whole another conversation about that. But yeah, I think if he could do that consistently, be consistent, we'll see a better version of Bryce, and that will pay dividends for the offense as a whole, and hopefully carry over to the rest of the team. So that's what I'm looking for. Let's see. Quante Lewis said, good morning, my Panthers people. Good morning, Quante. Glad, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Second day of Unbiased Opinion. The morning talk. The morning kickoff. Yeah, appreciate you for being here, man. Oh, that's CJ posted a link. J Hudge 1246 says morning, y'all. Good morning, J Hudge. Hey, appreciate you for signing up on the Patreon channel. Excuse me. Yeah, appreciate you signing up to become a member on the Patreon panel page. I know there's not a whole lot of stuff there just yet, but hopefully by the end of this week, definitely by Monday, I will start doing film breakdown on things like that. Maybe this weekend I'll create a live on Patreon and I'll give the members behind the scenes of what I got coming and what all you can expect. So be looking out for that message. You should get an email when I go live. Okay. And Reality Beat says, morning, Tony. Hey, good morning to you, man. Top of the morning to you. Appreciate you for being here. All right. So again, the link is in the chat. If anybody want to come up and be on the panel and conversate with your boy about, the topic of the day. All right. Don't make me feel weird up here by myself. It's already weird enough. It's already weird enough. Let's see. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that like button, share the live with a friend, family member. Let them know about the morning kickoff with unbiased opinion. And yeah, I would greatly appreciate that. Let me post this. Let me post this as well. No, it's not right there. Here we go. And if you want to support the show, there's a QR code in the top right corner that would send you to the PayPal link. I don't have Cash App. Cash App isn't available over here in the UAE. So I do have PayPal, so you can scan that QR code, or if need be, I can also post a link in the chat. You guys let me know. But it's probably easy if you just pull out your phone and scan that QR code and support the show. It would greatly be appreciated. All right. So I'm gonna leave that up there for a couple minutes, just in case you guys want to do that, and get your phones out. All right. So I'm gonna start with nobody has joined the panel, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with the first topic, like what we have here. Let's see. Bryce Young, next step, game manager or franchise quarterback. All right. So what does game manager mean to what does game manager mean to you? And I'm speaking to the people in the chat. What does game manager mean to you? For me, it's somebody that can not necessarily go out there and put the team on his back and will that team to victory no matter what. Not every quarterback in the NFL can do that. That's just not their thing. Okay. But when it comes to Bryce, I honestly think he's at that game manager. He has that game manager tag right now. And it's also like it's a little iffy. You know what I mean? It's a little iffy when it comes to Bryce. And when you talk about a game manager or being a franchise quarterback, with traits, things of that nature, because of the inconsistency. I mention it time and time again. I'll keep mentioning it until he gets better at that. But you get the highs with Bryce, then you get the lows. Then he might give you, two or three stretches in the game where, two or three game stretches where it looks like, he's going to be, or he's capable of being the quarterback that that we were looking for. But then it falls off again. And last year we saw a lot of up and down. And I can't say, and I won't say that it was just strictly on Bryce. I think a lot of that had to do with the play calling of Dave Canales. Because I do believe that in order for you to want or desire consistency from your quarterback, you gotta also have that consistency from your play caller, whether it's just the offensive coordinator or if it's the head coach calling offensive plays. And for last year, that was Dave Canales. And some of the times he came out and just mentioned that, he almost tried to give the game away, apologized to the guys in the locker room afterwards. Um, even when he made bad decisions, the guys still did what they needed to do to pull the game out. But it's that level of inconsistency that triggers down. You can't really expect your quarterback to be consistent when the play caller is not consistent. And those two have to marry each other. They like go hand in hand. Okay, let's see what do we have here. Hey, Gerald Sticks Jones just became a member. Hey, appreciate that love, Gerald. Thank you for becoming a member. I can't tell if it was on my channel or on CJ channel because the live is being streamed to both channels. His channel is the Armchair GM CJ, and mine is Unbiased Opinion Sports Talk. So yeah, I can't see that really tell right there. I'm sorry, Charlie the Gamer said, "Good morning, Tony. On the way to work. What's up, Charlie? Hey, I appreciate you tapping in, my guy, for the second episode of the morning kickoff with Unbiased Opinion. I appreciate you for being here, man. Thank you for showing up. Let's see. This is Gerald. Okay, Gerald, that's for J Hudge. All right. All right. So yeah, the link is in the chat, man. Somebody hit the link, pull up on your board. Just come have a simple conversation with me so we can get this thing going. I don't want to I don't do good just sitting here just talking to myself. That's not that's not my thing. It's my second episode and I'm trying to get out my comfort zone, man. Trying to get out my comfort zone. But somebody want to hit the link, somebody want to let me know if they want to pull up, pull up. I'll greatly appreciate it. Let's see who else. What else we got here? Oh, let me take this down now. It's been up for a few minutes. All right. Do that. Comments. All right. So let me ask Jared, what is it, Charlie? Charlie said he's on his way to work. Charlie, what type of work you do? Yeah, what type of work you do, Charlie? Let us know. Let us know. D Cash, you still in the building? You still in the chat? Let's see, reality said, if we sign Bryce, what does his highest year look like to you? Oh man, if we sign Bryce, I don't want to put a number on it. I don't believe putting a number on it because that's you can possibly put unfair expectations when you start looking down that road. Now this is just my opinion. Um, like I said, the consistency is the one thing. I think he has everything else in his game to be good. We see what kind of thrower of the football he is. Um, we see what he can do in the pocket, outside the pocket. We see what he can do with his feet when he takes off a run. We seen what he can do under pressure. Okay, not just the wild card game, even though we lost, but the 11 or 12 comebacks he's had, and I think since the second half of the 2024 season, which is the most in the NFL, if I'm correct. So when you put all those things together, you got a pretty good quarterback. It's just that we don't see it consistently, right? We don't see it consistently enough to not only just put him in another tier, or say, okay, well, he got those franchise quarterback traits, but just to be put in the tier and say, okay, he's a game manager with traits to becoming a franchise quarterback. That's what I want to see. I want to see more consistency from him, and that's from his decision making, protecting the ball, which I have a slide on that. We can get into that, but I have a slide on that shows his interceptions and turnovers from 2023, 2024, and 25, the first half of the season and the second half of the season. And it shows you, breaks it down, everything. I'm not going to get into it all right now, but when it comes up, we can get into that. Okay. But I do, in the overall grand scheme of things, I do believe they're going to extend him. They already picked up his 5th year option, as you know. So regardless of what he do this year, which no, let me not say it like that. I believe he's going to do good this year. Is it going to be better than what he did last year? That's what I'm hoping for. Okay, I'm definitely hoping for that. And as long as he plays his part and do what he needs to do in order for us to be successful, then yeah, I can see him getting that extension at the end of the year. Now the question has been a lot um in Panther Nation is, should he get it right now? I don't think so. I don't think the Panthers are in a rush to get it done right now. Okay. They in my opinion, they not. They already done picked up his 5th year option. And if you think about it, when you look at over the course of 3 years, there's only been like a year and a half of good production. The first year was a atrocity. We not even really counting that. That first year was just like, I wish it didn't even happen. I wish you can just scratch it from the record books, but it is what it is. Then he sits down after the first 2 games of last year, missed 3 games, then comes back. Now ever since he came back, he got better and better and better. And towards the end of the 2024 season, he looked pretty good. And we were hoping that carry over until the 2025 season. Well, each season he has played, we have started off at least 0-2. So that slow start is also killing him. That's another thing that I'm hoping that he gets over the hump. But it's not just all on him. There's people that were out injured, that we counted on for them being there. Like this past year. Well, I ain't gonna say this past year. Coming up for 2026. There's people that we are looking forward to seeing, like Jonathan Brooks. Jonathan Brooks going into his 3rd year. torn his ACL 2 times. You know, if he can be what he once was at Texas, that's what a lot of us are hoping. Then he definitely adds some stability to that running back room in that backfield with Chuba Hubbard. Then you look at Jatavion Sanders coming off that neck injury. Even though he has been healthy, he still, in my opinion, has not been right mentally since that neck injury. His play, I don't see the toughness there. It's like he's scared to get hit. These are just things that have observed just watching him. And I think right now he's not playing at his full confidence of he's not playing with the full level of confidence in himself. And I believe he needs to get back to that in order to be who he wants to be and who we saw coming out of Texas. Okay. So that those two are definitely people that we're waiting on in for the offense to contribute to the offense. Let me say that. All right. And then we already know about the whole XL situation that has been a topic of conversation for weeks or for forever. All right. Forever. So we can have that conversation one day as well. So I know how a lot of people feel about XL. I really never really been high on him since we drafted him, So, I don't have no big expectations for him. And I don't think people should have big expectations for him this year because he's not going to really be in a position to meet those big expectations that people might have, whether he's the number 3 or the number 4 wide receiver. The lower you are on the depth chart, the lower number of targets you're going to get. That means the lower number chances to catch the ball. That means the lower number of having opportunity to score touchdowns. It means all that. So where does he fall on that spectrum as far as when you talk about expectations, where does he fall? Where does he fall in that category? Yeah, Poppin', I see you. Yeah, you can hop up on the panel, and we can have that conversation. I like to mess with you about XL. I would love to have that conversation on about you. Conversation with you. I'm sorry, I was reading the comments at the same time. Gerald Sticks said you were dead on about the extreme highs and lows from Bryce. Yeah, he definitely has those extreme highs and lows. And that balance that we're looking for is like right there in the middle. I think that's what we want to look for. That balance equals consistency. Charlie Gamer said, I do IT, on-site networking, device management, application support. Okay. All right, Charlie. That's a good field. That's definitely something that AI is not going to be able to take away. Definitely not something that AI will be able to take away. What's up, Papa? Day 2. Yes, sir. Day 2 of the morning kickoff with unbiased opinion. Yes, sir. Let's see. Uncle OG Leroy said, nephews, I'm up and easy like Sunday morning on my Lionel Richie. Hey, I'm easy like Sunday morning. Yes, sir. Had to go ahead and hit you with a little tune right there, Uncle Leroy. He said, blessings to everyone this morning. Blessings to you too, my guy. Hope your day is a very prosperous and effective day. Reality B said, can you explain what a 3-tech and a setter is? Of course I can, my guy. So the 3-tech, yeah, I'm glad you gave me something to talk about till somebody hit the panel. Come on, Poppy, hit the link. Let me put up in the link again. Let me put the link up again real quick in case he don't want act like he ain't see it, and I know he did. But it's no problem. I'm gonna post it again, Poppin'. I'm gonna post it again. But yeah, the three technique plays on the outside shoulder of the guard in between the guard and the tackle. Um, Derek Brown, that's his position. That's what he was known for when he was at Auburn, playing that three tech position. The three tech creates a lot of 1-on-1. When you play in that three tech position, you are in a lot of 1-on-1, um, lot of 1-on-1 matches with either the guard or the tackle, because you're split right in between them, and they're not necessarily an edge setter or tone setter, but they can create that pressure from that pocket. And if you have a dominant three tech like we have with Derek Brown, someone that can get upfield, apply pressure, potentially get a sack to the quarterback, help you in the run game, et cetera. That's just a what would you say, a quick example of the three tech. Your one tech, which is your nose tackle. Your nose tackle plays from the 0 to the 1. Um, he's gonna stuff the run. He's the run stuffer. He's the one that wants to garner 2 blocks. Be like a fire hydrant in the middle. I ain't never seen nobody hit a fire hydrant and be able to move it. So that's what you want to see in your nose tackle, to keep the quarterback from stepping up in the pocket, things of that nature. So yeah, that's a little bit on the three technique. We'll definitely go into it. But let me bring Poppin and look like Freddie to the stage. What's up,
Well,
my
good morning.
guys?
Good
What's
morning,
up? What's
Tony.
up? What's
Good
up? What's
What
morning.
up?
up,
Good
Pop?
morning. Good morning. What's up, man? Hey, look, I don't know
Good
how good my
morning.
service gonna be because I am on the truck,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
you know, I do the best I can. Well, my phone
yeah.
better do the best it can. Shit.
It's all good. What's going on with you, Poppin?
Man, man, I'm tired. I'm tired, boss. Tired, boss. I worked about 11 hours yesterday. Got to the house. The
Yeah.
power went out around the whole neighborhood, man. Oh
Damn.
my, yeah. I was kind of worried, like, what my have here, everything powered up, so my alarm can go on, trying to get everybody situated at that house, all that little stuff, man. And I just couldn't sleep after that. But now you're thinking, well, any of y'all men out there, your alarm, your security should go up, because you're the protector. I mean, this is
Mm,
Right.
a perfect example for somebody that's trying to do something crazy, and I'm well prepared. So, I didn't sleep that well.
right.
Okay. All right. Freddie, my guy, what's going on, Freddie?
Good morning, Tony. Nothing much. I kind of looked at the stream a little. I kind of tuned into the stream a little bit. I kind of just woke up, but
Yeah.
you know,
You brush your
just hear
teeth
you.
yet, huh?
You were
I
what?
just shut up, Pop. I just brushed my teeth. Thank you very much. But you know, I thank you for having me on your show, Tony. Just real relaxed and calm, cool, just waking up. And I like the topic of discussion because I think it's a good topic. And that's just me because the game manager and franchise quarterback thing is like something that we talk about a lot. And I feel like you're absolutely right with your assessment when you say Bryce Young is a game manager. He has to take that next
Mm-hmm.
step himself, along with the team who has to allow him to take that step as well. It works co and co. They get him paid, he gets them paid. That's I mean
Right.
that's the way that wide receivers and tight ends and work with the quarterback. So I feel like if the whole team takes a step, I feel like we will have that answer.
Okay. Let's see, Will. All right, let me add Will to the stage. Tip Drill Will, what's
I also have
happening?
a question for you, Tony,
What's
man.
going on,
I hope
fellas?
you don't say.
Good morning, Will. Good morning.
What
Good
up, man?
morning, good morning, good morning.
Talk. Oh, go ahead, Papa. What was the question you said you had?
I want to drive the conversation away from what you was explaining about the three tech and stuff and things of that nature. And Freddie had brought up something very interesting
Mm-hmm.
that somebody um, had said. We were talking about this stuff last night, Freddie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all have talked about the Mount Rushmore conversation. But this
Uh huh.
one particular person, I'm gonna call his name PPP. He puts Derrick Brown on the Mount Rushmore. What do y'all think about that?
uh,
E.
yeah. Yeah.
It's rough.
I'm not gonna even get all into that. But I'm glad you fellas are on the panel right now, so we can go ahead and get into this first topic, which was, well, I don't know what I did with it. There it is. So the first topic is Bryce Young's next step. Is he a game manager or a franchise quarterback? All right, franchise quarterback. So okay, I don't have. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold on. Let me see. Because PPP is backstage.
Yeah, I feel about Teddy off the
Hey,
block.
hey. You ain't have to say his name 3 times, Pop.
Nah, hold on. Let's see. Because I only have it set up where I have four people on the stage.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm not with having a whole bunch of people on stage.
Oh, okay.
I
Well, I just got one thing to add: the game manager and the franchise quarterback thing. Once we get to that topic, then you can drop me and bring PPP up.
Okay, go ahead, Will.
Well, I think that a game manager can be a franchise quarterback. I mean, Tom Brady
Okay,
was an elite. Tom Brady was an elite game manager.
right.
That's a good
So,
point.
um, that's the thing that some people take the game manager and the game changer
Mm-hmm.
as the game manager as a negative hit, and I think that Cam best described because he's the one that started that conversation, manager versus changer. And he
Mm-hmm.
was like, there's just two types of franchise quarterbacks. There's the game manager and the game changer. And he was like Tom Brady. Use that example. Tom Brady is the elite game manager. Tom Brady is not a game changer.
Right.
Most people, when they think about it, they was like, "Oh, that do make sense." Because you're not expecting Tom Brady to change the fabric of a game,
No,
but Tom Brady will carve your behind up.
that's right.
But but do you think though, Will,
Mhm.
that there were a lot of times when the Patriots needed something on the final drive, and Tom Brady would just put them on his back, and they would just dink and dunk all the way to the end zone. And it was like it never fails. Like even if they were down by 7 points or less, it was like automatic. You can count on Tom Brady if he had the ball last, would take the Patriots downfield and score a touchdown to either tie the game or to win it. So you don't in that instance you don't think that would make him more of a lead of a game changer instead of a game manager? But he did it
So,
consistently.
so no, because and I'm only going off Cam's definition. So this is just me regurgitating somebody else's point.
Right.
Cam said that exact same thing exactly. If you need him to score a point, he will. Right? You know, just like Bryce. Bryce In the fourth quarter, you need him to make a play, he gonna make a play. That doesn't mean
Right.
game managers can't make the play, but the whole entire offense is not predicated. Like our entire offense was predicated off of Cam. Period.
Right.
That's the game changer.
Right.
The whole offense is
Okay.
predicated around Cam. So
Papa,
that
Papa, what you think
I
about
just
that?
yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Will. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I just wanted to add that context. Go ahead, Pop. My
Okay.
bad.
Uh, I mean, I can see the point. I can see because they're both positives. I think there's different levels of game managers. You have your elites, which I call them elite micromanagers, like a Peyton Manning, your Tom Brady's, and then you got
Right.
your your your, your game managers like a Dak Prescott. Uh, so there's validity to what he's saying, and then your game changers, like you said. I would say Aaron Rodgers, Lamar
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, even
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes, because
Mm-hmm.
the they have so many tools in their utility belt. You almost can. They're almost unstoppable.
Okay.
Um, so I can see it. So as far as Bryce, um, are you asking what he can become or where he's at right now?
Yeah. So the debate question is: given Bryce Young's improvement, is he proving he can be the Carolina's franchise quarterback, or is he still in the stage where the Panthers need more evidence before making that claim?
So yeah, I think any smart franchise that if if all the boxes were checked, he would have been signed. Not saying that you have to be signed, but I mean, if you knew, you knew. You know what I mean? I think did Cam Newton play on his 5th year option, or did they sign him? I'm trying to think. I think they
I
signed him.
don't. I don't remember. I
I,
Mm-hmm.
don't
I don't think
remember.
I don't think he got to his 5th year option. So
Mm.
if that's to be true, yeah, somebody fact check me. I think he'd have been signed. I think there has to be questions answered. I mean, even from a fan perspective, I mean, he's inconsistent to me. Has he improved on some things? Absolutely. Um, but is it enough? No. So to invest however much money that he's going to be paying, because y'all people also have to think about when you pay him, what are the possibility, the chances of who you're not going to pay, who you're willing to lose, because you're not going to be able to
Right.
compensate
Mm-hmm.
him and keep all the other talent, because quarterbacks with that type of bag that they get, they eat up a lot of your salary cap, a
They
lot.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so when you take on that commitment, you have to know for sure, okay, yes, we can win and we can lose something until we replace it.
Right.
And I think that's just where it's at right now. I think he has a lot more things that he has to prove, mostly consistency. Um, and if he does, I mean, hey, then I can tell you exactly what he is. Is he a franchise guy or a game manager?
I
All
and
right.
I think to
Hold, hold,
Will's.
hold on.
Oh,
Hold
I'm sorry.
on real quick, Fred, and I'll throw it back to you. Let me read the button. Shout out the driver, man, for that $2 super chat. Super chat. He said, "Great morning show. Keep it going." Hey, I appreciate it, driver. I really do, and I appreciate you tapping in to the morning kickoff with the unbiased opinion. Hopefully, see you on the panel one day soon. You know, whenever you want to come up, man, just let me know. And like I tell anybody, man, read the room and match the energy. So that's how I get down with that. All right, but we appreciate that, man. Go ahead, Freddie.
Well, to Will's point, I was gonna say, like, as people have said, a game manager can be a franchise QB. It just takes, as Pop said, consistency and just doing your 1 of 11. I just felt like that.
Yeah.
I just felt like that's what is the most that people really look for, is the consistency part of it. Because if he is a game manager, I feel like we can get away with that. You know, I feel like we
Okay.
can. I feel like he can be our franchise quarterback as the game manager.
All right.
I think franchise.
Well,
Go ahead.
so for me, if a quarterback improves when the structure around him improves, or excuse me, that does not automatically mean he is being carried. Like some people want to suggest.
Yeah.
It can mean that the team finally gave him um a fair football, put him in a fair football environment. I believe Bryce has improved in small increments as his numbers has shown, and
Hmm.
all I'm asking from him is to be more to be a more, damn, I can't get my words out, to be a more consistent quarterback
There you
at
go.
doing the most important things at his position, and one of those things is protecting the
The football.
ball.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Mhm.
pull up this chart that I have here that would definitely uh give you a great insight into what I mean by that. So let me. All right, we all there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So this is
Yeah.
Bryce Young turnover splits for 2020 from 2023 to 2025. And what you will see here for like 2023, um the first half of the first 8 games of the season that he played, he had 9 turnovers. In the second half is 7. 2024, he had 6 in the first 8 games and 5 in the second half of the season. Last year, he had 9 total in the first 8 games of the season and 6 in the last 8 games. Now, 2024 is different because he only played 14 games uh, that season. So that was a split between the 14 games. So that's 7-7 right there. And last year, he only played 16 games. He didn't play in that game against Buffalo. So right here at the bottom right, you see year by year takeaways, interceptions improved from 7 to 3. Total fumbles got worse. He fumbled 4 times in the first half of the season, 7 in the second half. The fumbles lost got worse from 2 to 4. 2024, the interceptions improved from 6 to 3. The total fumbles got worse from 1 to 5, and fumbles lost from 0 to 2. So the giveaways improved from 6 to 5, and they also improved in 2023 from 9 to 7, like we just mentioned. And 2025, the interceptions improved from 6 to 3. The total fumbles improved from 4 to 3, and fumbles lost stayed the same, 3-3. So you can see that he is protecting the ball a little better when it comes to interceptions, but it's the fumbles and the lost fumbles that has like really hurt Bryce. And especially the first half of the season. Like I was saying earlier about the first 2 games of each season, it always seems like he fumbles the most in the first 2 to 3 games. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's
I
just
agree.
me, but it seemed like there's a lot of fumbles, unnecessary interceptions, I would say. And then as the season goes on, he gets better and better. And it's like toward the end of the season, that's when you see the best of him. And I just want to see the best of him from the beginning. What you think about that, Will?
So I I can only take last year into context. of the
Okay.
turnover ratio. So
Right.
last year, um, let's talk about how we went down to Jacksonville. Number one, we traded away Adam Thielen. That was his
Right.
number one target going to the end of last season. That was his number one, the season prior. That was his number one target. They traded him away. Two, um, Coker, who was supposed to replace Adam Thielen, was out injured. Then you had a rookie X receiver and a still trying to figure it out number two in XL. That was our wide receiver. And then David Moore. And David Moore got injured on the first possession of that Jacksonville game.
Yes. Yes, he did.
That was the wide
Yeah.
receiving core. So
Well.
Jacksonville, and we could have beat Jacksonville. So that's one of the things I just most people like to put it. I'm not making excuses for Bryce, but if you look at, and because I had a conversation with 336, he was like, Bryce Young threw that ball right to the receiver in the Jacksonville game. I went and looked right at, I had to go and watch the play and show it on a live that we was on. That interception was not Bryce's fault.
Right.
Literally, it wasn't Bryce's fault, right? And so you have to like put these things into context. It was timing, it was rhythm. And by the time the wide receiver core kind of smoothed itself out and the running game picked up, Bryce being hopefully an elite game manager one day, everything kind of clicked into place. And you started
Right.
seeing our team metastasize. Now I can't speak of rookie campaign in year two. I don't really remember, but I could only really talk about last year and what I perceive to be some of the why.
Okay.
So would that be a
Well,
chemistry thing, Will? Hey, Will.
Will.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hit the mute button because I thought so. Yeah, I think it's a chemistry thing. I also think that it could possibly be an offensive scheme trying to figure it out because they've missing so many pieces.
What about the
Um,
fumbles though? You don't have chemistry with fumbles.
No, the fumbles is on him.
so yeah, that chemistry can be a part of that. Because if you got to hold the ball forever and you trying to get that ball out, and you got a damn 279-pound defensive end swiping at the ball, yeah, that can be fumble problems. You don't think?
Okay. No, it can, but that there still comes a point where he has to be better at protecting the ball. Even sometimes I've seen
Absolutely.
a couple fumbles that he's had when he had both hands on the ball, but not necessarily tucked. Bryce has to understand and know and realize I'm not the strongest uh person out there. So I gotta really protect that ball. I gotta,
Mhm.
hold it high and tight, put two hands on it, bring that ball in. But it's like when you get into that playmaking space and you're trying to create something out of nothing, he loses the sense of protecting the ball. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
100%.
I just want to see him be better when it comes to that because I've seen it kill drives when we are in field goal position or in a position to score some points, get the ball stripped right out of him. And they know this about him. They know that they can go after the ball, and nine times out of 10, he may fumble it. So he has to know that they know that. So therefore, he needs to do what he needs to do to better protect the football. And that's just my opinion on that.
I agree. I agree. I'm not taking excuses away from Bryce. I'm just saying he needs to be able to hold on to the ball, but it gives opportunities for DBs to get interceptions where there's no rhythm and timing. and it gives
Right.
the defensive line, the defensive front opportunity to just take a swipe at the ball. He need to hold on to the dang on ball, and he need to
Mm-hmm.
not throw an interception. I'm just saying the
That's
why.
true.
I'm not excusing Bryce. I'm just saying why it happened. It's still
Right.
Bryce's fault
Right.
if the interception is thrown or if there is a fumble. It's
Right.
still Bryce's fault. I'm just making sure that I'm clear on that. I'm not saying that's not Bryce's fault. It is.
Yeah.
Just want to make
I
sure.
think
Right.
I think in those situations, I mean, with the computer of a brain that they said that he has, the PS10, uh, the dissecting plays, I
Mm-hmm.
just felt like with such a great IQ, I think I would think that he would know that taking a sack is better than risking turning over the ball in
Right.
any capacity. Because at least you can, you live to fight another day because you got another down, unless it's like fourth down. But either way,
Hey, preach, preach.
you might be somewhere where okay, we got a nice kicker, he can kick this 45 yarder. But once you
Right.
make yourself vulnerable, when you start having scatterbrain, in which I understand you're under an immense amount of pressure, you start going to bad habits. Okay, it's time to play backyard football.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you're in the NFL, every yard counts. So, what's best for the team? Hopefully he'll work on that. Just take the sack. I know it don't
Right.
probably feel good. He's trying to make something out of nothing, but I'd
Just
rather
take
him
it.
take the sack. Yeah, just lay down. Just lay down.
Right.
You know. Mm-hmm.
Just lay down.
He
Yeah,
says,
that
but
that
they
that
popping right though.
Yeah, he's right.
yeah, he right. Yeah. But see that also goes into making smart decisions, when and having command of the offense. Well, not probably not command of the offense, but definitely making smart decisions. You know what I'm saying? Throw the ball away when it needs to throw away. There's nothing wrong with grounding the ball. Now I know
Right.
people go have be up in arms about it, but it's better than getting a sack or a strip sack or throwing an
Right.
interception. Just ground the ball. Just live to see another day. You know what I'm
That's true.
saying? Yeah, just live to see another day. But just make smarter decisions with the ball and protect the ball better. That's my whole uh spill on that. So I'm gonna give my position on it, then we can go to topic two. So I believe there is real evidence, and I want to be clear about that, so you can see it on the field. The games the game a lot of time looks slower for him, and the decisions needs to be cleaner, and the offense isn't stuck in the mud the way it used to be. So to me, that matters, and that's strength. Okay, I mean that's growth, not strength. What am I saying?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm not about to hand out the franchise quarterback label just because the arrow is pointing up.
Mm-mm.
That's not how this works. So improvement is part of the journey, but it's not the destination per se. So we've seen quarterbacks take steps forwards before and still not reach that top echelon, that top tier, right? So yeah, I respect the progress and I acknowledge it, but I'm also going to keep it real. That next level has to be proven, in my opinion. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So we want to
Mhm.
transition. Go ahead. You gonna say something, Will?
Yeah, I was just gonna add that elite game manager is the most expensive quarterback that's on the market right now. That's Dak Prescott, one of the most expensive because Patrick Mahomes just got a contract. So if,
Right.
if Bryce Young become if Bryce Young become Dak Prescott esque, we have to understand the price point that goes along with that type of player. Most people
It's
think
just.
only the Patrick Mahomes get that kind of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just pointed out the oh, what's the guy name? The guy that's at Pittsburgh right now.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers and all those guys, those are elite game managers. So we have to understand what we're going to be getting. I'm not saying that he's any of those. I'm just saying that if he evolves to that, that's where that price point is. I
Mm.
just want to make
Right.
sure that we understand that. Okay.
Right.
Anyway, sorry
I got
about
you.
that for your transition, CJ. I mean not CJ. Tony. My bad. My bad. My
Nah, you
bad.
good. You good. You good. Let me um get drive up here. Will you gonna drop off right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop off. And hey, I appreciate
Or
you guys. The morning
hold
show.
on, wait a minute.
Oh,
Papa, you still driving?
Yeah, yeah, I can come back later.
All right. Will you
hey,
can stay. Let me drop popping off and I bring drive up.
hey, Tony, look who's
Okay.
in the chat.
Who that?
I think it's Onk in the chat.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just saw. Hold on. I'm gonna get him in a minute.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Let me oh there we go. Let me bring driver to the stage. Driver, what's happening?
Man, my bad. What it do? What it do,
Good
man? I was
morning.
just
Good
checking,
morning.
man.
Good morning,
I
driver.
ain't shit.
Yeah.
I ain't have to come up, man. My bad. I ain't know how many you could bring up here, so yeah, I ain't gonna
Yeah,
stay
I'm
long.
trying. I'm trying to keep it at a limit of 4 people, man. I don't want a full panel per se, you know, if you
Yeah, I'm
will. I
accustomed
just trying
to
to
it.
keep
Yeah, I got
keep it copacetic. But yeah, man. Hey, appreciate you joining the show, man. The second day of the morning kickoff with unbiased opinions. So Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Man, tap in with your boy. You know, I'm gonna try to bring good vibes, good energy. You know, and have some good conversations and some good debates. So that's the goal. But let me read through some of these comments real quick. So let's see. What I was see. Ronnie said quarterbacks only have two eyes. Shout
Mm.
out to you, Ronnie. Hey, great. Appreciate you joining the show. Um, yeah, definitely great to see you join the show. Well, but what you mean by that? Quarterbacks only have two eyes. What were we talking about? What were we talking about for you to say that? I'm curious and want to know.
What I think he's
So
talking
let's
about. Oh, my phone.
now go ahead.
Well, I honestly think he's talking about that, like, third eye, or like that, like, tunnel vision, like that, or like, because we were talking about fumbles and like turnovers and things like that, and guys like,
Yeah.
in his face and things like that. Because I mean, that's what you
Mm-hmm.
guys were talking about. I think that's what he was talking about. The fact that a quarterback only has two eyes, but quarterbacks gain that sixth sense of when like pressure is going to be there. That internal clock
Yeah.
is basically
Okay.
what we're talking about.
All right. So let's see. Oh, that was me right there, the driver. Oh, I
Mhm.
think so. Charlie the gamer said, "Do not let driver up there, not till I get to work." Yeah, that was for
Rip.
you, driver. I guess. On
yeah, he late
2020,
then.
what's happening? On 2020, what's happening with you, my guy? Hey, appreciate you tapping in to the morning kickoff with the unbiased opinion for day two.
Oh,
You know, topic of conversation is Bryce Young. Is he a game changer or a franchise quarterback? So that's the topic of the day. And want to give Uncle a shout out too, man, for allowing me to be a regular, if you will, past 2 or 3 weeks on his channel. And so I definitely appreciate that. Met some people that I normally wouldn't have met if I hadn't been on the channel. So I wanted to give you a shout out. Appreciate you for showing love, man. Uh CJ said, just say Bryce don't make it. Do y'all feel like the offense is plug and play for another quarterback? That's a good question.
Uh,
What you think, Will? You want to take that one, Will?
Yes, I do. I think it is. I think that I mean, of course, there's still things that we can improve. We could have better tight end play. Um, Coker needs to make sure we need to make sure Coker stays healthy. Um,
Right.
make sure that Big 50 stays healthy. I think that's the reason why I believe that this is going to be a no-brainer for Bryce Young. Um, everybody still points at the Bryce Young first season. I mean, you could just look at that offense and tell. You can look at that coaching staff and tell. I mean, we had to rebuild this entire offense pretty much from interior defense, interior offensive line, um, to making sure that we cultivated running backs and wide receivers, and we still haven't finished up on tight ends. But yes, the offense is primed for plug and play to CJ's point. However, I have in you cannot tell me that Bryce Young isn't going to be is going to blow up this year for that same reason that I'm saying that the offense is plug and play.
Right. Okay. Well, so I think go ahead. Go ahead, Freddie. You was gonna say something
Uh,
first. Go ahead. Go ahead.
well, speaking of like the plug and play thing, it would depend on the
Yeah.
type of like quarterback that you have based on, as Will said, if all the weapons can stay healthy. Because I think that's been the main problem in Carolina was our weapons have not been able to stay healthy. And the fact of like having to adjust on the fly at the beginning of seasons, if that makes sense. And then just really like not being the coaching staff being more stubborn with a type of like ground game. I feel like Dave Canales was a stubborn play caller. I feel like Brad Izzik will be more sort of quarterback friendly. I also feel like he'll tailor more to Bryce Young this time around than Dave did. But that's just my opinion, but that's just what I've seen. But I do think as well that this would be a plug and play quarterback system if it tailors to the quarterback. It allows the quarterback to be the quarterback. I see you pin that comment, Tony. Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I need to see the team consistent overall, though. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could kind of, say, well, we could get another quarterback and he'll come right in and do this, but I think we just been inconsistent on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball. So until we get some type of consistency in just football and I think that the team was just young, um, especially on the wide receiver position. We had some young
Right.
guys at the edge on defense. Either the Mike linebacker, Mike Wallace, he was young. Um, I just think, we just overall just being kind of inconsistent, just based on the win-loss record. We win one, we lose one, we win one, we lose one.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, I'm not, you know, gonna just agree that another quarterback would just come straight in and everything could stay the same. I think Bryce went through that. I think that the team went through a lot of ups and downs together. So I believe this year it'll be more of on track, consistent. You get way more consistent out of the skill positions. I think the defense, with a little bit more help on the defense is going to be more consistent. So I'm just focusing on the reality of the game, and looking forward to this season and seeing that the growth that they have made over the prior years, and I expect good things. Great football, better decision making. I know y'all was talking about Bryce turnovers and fumbles. I think that has a lot to do with just so much, it's inconsistent at the offensive line, or especially at the center position, because they had Austin Corbett starting last year at the beginning of the season, and
Y-
if I'm not mistaken, he was the center the year before that.
Yes.
So I don't really put so much on just the quarterback. I look at the offensive line and looking at the how much we didn't, improve the offensive line. I don't know. Did we bring Austin Corbett back, or did we
No,
not
no, no,
inform
no.
him?
He walked. He got the fuck
Yeah,
on.
he gone.
Yeah.
So I see. I just don't see that. Those fumbles. The interceptions. That's a part of football. But just the fumbles alone. I might
Hmm.
get
Yeah.
called out last year, maybe one. That one that he fumbled against Miami when he tried to
He
shake
tried to
old
cut.
boy. Yeah, I could kind of, I'm gonna pin
Yeah.
that on him, but a lot of times, soon he snapped the ball, it was either high snap, low snap, or the pressure right in his face. So yeah, I'm not gonna buy that. It was just all on the quarterback. I think the offensive line and the center position played a huge part in that. So yeah, I like I say, man, I just think we have a little bit more mature team, so we'll get more consistencies this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a real quick so we can wrap up this first topic. When it comes to the ball security that I was really talking about is mentioning was not to include when, that there's a fumble snap, between the center and quarterback exchange, or when Chandler Zavala stepped back on Bryce foot and, there was confusion and things happen. I'm just talking about there's times when he breaks the pocket and he's scrambling or he's going, attempt to run, and then there's a defensive end of somebody that comes from behind and chops down on his arm. That's Bryce. That ain't on the offensive line. That's not on nobody but Bryce. So him better securing the ball in situations like that, knowing that it could be a possibility that I can get hit from behind. Somebody can try to knock the ball out or the ball away, what have you. In his mind, he has to get better at securing the football when he's whether he's in the pocket or whether he's scrambling away. You know what I'm saying? Like those instances, a lot of the instances that I'm talking about is definitely him and him by himself. I know there's other times where, other situations has affected it and it was kind of like out of his control. But the ones that he can control is the ones that I'm talking about. And that's where I feel like he definitely needs to get better at. So yeah, I put up a poll in the chat, said Bryce Young right now, is he a franchise quarterback, solid starter, improved but still needs proof, or too early to know? You guys can type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat and let me know what you guys think. All right. So topic 2, let me pull that up. And man, if anybody tell y'all that managing all this is easy, they a lie. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now.
Mhm.
Is Carolina giving Bryce Young the right structure to prove it? All right. That's topic number 2. So I'm gonna start with the facts first. So Bryce Young's production improved as Carolina offensive structure improved. Dave Canales was brought in to stabilize the quarterback in the offense. Carolina has invested in better support around Bryce. The Panthers now have a better chance to judge Bryce fairly than they did earlier in his career. Okay, so here's the context. Um, Quarterback development is not just about the quarterback; it's about um, so we're talking about protection, right? The offensive line holding up. Then you got route spacing with the receivers. Are the receivers actually giving Bryce clean windows? Okay. Run game efficiency. Can they stay balanced, or are they putting everything on Bryce's arm? Meaning, when the run game is not going, which we saw at times last year, and it was all about Bryce arm in the passing game. There were some times where he did his thing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? There were some times where I felt like he was probably put at too much of a disadvantage and couldn't get out the hole. All right. The play sequencing, I've talked about that. I mentioned that yesterday. Are the plays building off each other or just random calls? And I guess that's going to be the biggest unknown this preseason because we never seen Brad Isaac call plays in a meaningful
Mm-hmm.
game. So when we talk about the separation of the receivers, are the guys getting open to make Bryce? Are the guys getting open, or are they making Bryce force throws? So I know for the past 2 or 3 years, or up until I said the first 2 years of his career, we talked about wide receivers not being able to create space, people not being able to get open. Bryce being a rhythm quarterback and throwing into open spaces, but guys not creating enough separations to make that
Mm-hmm.
happen. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The easy throws, are they giving him layups or making everything difficult? Well, I guess you can kind of say, if that's the case, I think a lot of that plays on the guy's ability of getting open.
All
Okay.
right.
He feel like he got to throw it in a tight window every throw. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Third down answers. What happens when it's money time? You have to think about that, and the red zone design. Can they actually finish drives? There's too many times I've witnessed where we get down into the red zone and then the offense like it stalls out, or
Mm-hmm.
team like Dave Canales. The closer you get to the end zone, the more conservative it seems that Dave gets with
Mm-hmm.
the play calling. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Okay. So let me ask y'all this. Is the offense giving Bryce clean answers so that we can fairly judge him? Right? But if everything has to be perfect for it to work, then that still caps what his offense can be. So what y'all think? Y'all think we give him the clean answers to where we can fairly judge him now?
I would say yes. I just think that with having all the guys for the years that you mentioned, Ted's going into his second year, Coker in his third, and XL into his third. I just think that we'll finally get the chemistry thing and the rhythm and timing that you talked about. I think that will
Yeah.
finally come into play this time around because, as Will mentioned, we haven't had Coker at the beginning of the season the last 2 seasons, and I just feel like
Facts.
if he has that, which is Bryce's security blanket. I learned that Coker is Bryce's security blanket. If it's a crucial down, Bryce is going to Jalen Coker. And then I
Mm.
also feel like uh if XL can just get in rhythm with his quarterback and be more quarterback friendly, I feel like that will also help him out as well. Instead of like running like a robot but understanding spacing. I feel like that's one thing that he has struggled with was understanding spacing. I feel like Coker is more uh in tune with the spacing of zone and man coverage, if that makes sense. Just understanding the spacing, just understanding if there's a clear spot, just sit down into the zone and things like that.
Okay. Will, what you think?
Yeah, I think that the offense is giving them clear answers. And that goes back to my original conversation. Coming out of this training camp, if we're 100% healthy, and this is the third year, everybody's in the same play, in the same scheme. Everybody well, Tet's in year two, but Tet was not the problem in year one.
Right.
So, but
Right.
it is, I think that that's the reason why I say that when I said you can just drop a quarterback in, not drop any quarterback in, but drop a successful quarterback in to make it work. I think the
Ah.
offense gives clear answers. The offense, um, Bryce can run the offense efficiently. He knows exactly what he's looking for. I'm talking about even in practice, he knows exactly what he's looking for. Of course, everybody goes off of his cursing he did at practice. I don't think it's about the profanity. It's about what he knows they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Everything from the film room to the weight room to the book to the getting into the offensive scheme into the position rooms and getting out on the field and executing. He knows what it's supposed to look like, and that's important. Of course, he didn't know what that looked like in his rookie season. He didn't know like what it looked like in year 2 because his rookie season was so messed up and he got a new coaching staff. But year 3 in the system, I think it'll be totally different. And I think that because everything is lined up so cleanly, that it's going to give him clear answers. And I want to add this one piece. I know PPP is not going to agree with me on this. Because of all the things that I said, it will be very difficult for someone like Mechie or the rookie Brazel to get number 1 level reps at the number 3 position at the beginning of training camp because of all of those things I just said. They don't have time. They don't have time
Okay.
to figure it out. They don't have time for you to figure out a route. You need to go over there with pickets and figure out routes. I'm telling you, because we're getting ready, because we're getting ready for Chicago.
Oh yeah.
So I just want to make sure that everybody kind of like put it into perspective. I'm not saying that nobody can't unseat XL. I'm not saying that they can't. What I'm saying is when you put it into perspective, when you say that the office is giving them clear answers, that's what I think about when I'm talking about leaving the training camp, figuring this offense out, getting rhythm and timing together, and getting ready for Chicago.
Yeah, I also do agree. And as you mentioned, the big key to this all is health. That's the big key because that's something that we've been missing is that chemistry with his 1 and 2, which is Ted and Coker. And the key word is Coker.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You know, thinking about just this past season, you know, when Ted being the rookie and it was people was double teaming him early and often, and it was like
Yes.
we didn't have a number 2 or a number 3 wide receiver step up in the absence of David Moore
Right.
and Jalen Coker. So when they knew that, then yeah, we can stack the box and come at you with crazy blitzes and
Right.
stuff like that because we don't feel like you can beat us with not necessarily with your arm. I think it was more so we don't believe that you had the receivers to beat us
Right.
because we're gonna double team your number 1 over here. We ain't worried about nobody else you got. So the only way that you can beat us is in the run game, and we don't think you can do that. That's what I took from it. That's how I saw the defenses looking at us the first 5-6 games of the season. But a lot of that changed when Jalen Coker did come back. Not necessarily his first 1 or 2 games, because you know he was getting his feet wet, getting acclimated to the game again or whatever. But after that, he took off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He took off after that. So then the defenses had to start respecting now that we have a true number 2. Now we have another weapon that we have to account for. So now they got to play you different.
That was
Okay?
showcased in the wild card game with when it finally came. I feel like the wild card game is what we've been wanting to see from this offense is letting Bryce really take control of the offense.
It
And that's
wasn't.
what he
It wasn't
did.
even. It wasn't even. In that game, which game was it that he threw for 448?
Oh, the Atlanta game.
That was the Atlanta game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is when Bryce was like unleashed.
Yeah.
For some reason Dave Canales said, "You know what? Screw it. The hell with it. Let's just air it out."
Right.
And Bryce said, "Hold my beer." You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but
And that's what you got. But then they reverted right back to that conservative play calling.
and see again, Dave Canellis, to me, I feel like he was stubborn with his play calling. Actually, that San Francisco game, he was backwards. Because think
Mm-hmm.
about it, Tony. He didn't I feel like Dave Canellis wasn't planning. I feel like he was trying to let his like I think he was trying to prove people wrong instead of focusing on the game, understanding the game plan of the team. If you throw 448, you know that they're going to, you know, prepare for the pass.
Yeah.
And I feel like he
Driver,
was.
what you? Oh, go
Oh, go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Freddie. Go
I
ahead.
just felt like
Finish
he
what you.
was calling games backwards. That was just something I noticed.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Well,
they
what you got,
gave him.
driver?
I mean, my personal opinion, if we talking about just now, or we talking about coming into this season, or we talking about his based on his career, as they set him up in the right position. I mean, yeah, I want to get that clarified a little bit. Are you talking about just now? That's what I'm saying. If we talking about his whole career in Carolina, I feel like he hasn't been put in the right position. But I could look at the way they off-season moves, the way we've been drafting over the last 2 years. I think they have given him a better opportunity to reach his ceiling. If we, especially this season with, I see the way we, attack the free agency. In the draft, we attack getting some offensive linemen, D linemen. That I think, that the trenches was more critical to our team than anything else. So I honestly could say, coming into this season here, he has the opportunity to reach the player, or he trying to or if they trying to evaluate him under this particular group. But yeah, I see this being a more improved Bryce, coming into this season. I think most of his grind and ups and downs were, due to the lack of talent around him. And I think he actually he got better perspective on the team, the wide receivers, the offensive line. I think now he's more mature as the quarterback that we need, coming into this type of team with a lot of, I say, veterans on the defensive side of the ball, because the offense is still kind of limited on veterans. So I think we right where we need to be at, and you'll see a better improved Bryce this season, without a doubt.
Okay. All right. So look, there's another live chat up, another live chat poll that is up. It says, who has more pressure this year? Bryce Young, Brad Isaac, offensive line, or the wide receiver room? Again, you can type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat, and it will show in the poll. Who do you guys feel like is the who has more pressure this year? But yeah, I definitely feel what you guys are saying about that. I think a better support system should allow him to play faster. And what that really means is he's not out there second guessing
Right.
everything, right? He can trust what he's seeing, trust the timing of the routes, and just let it rip when the window is there.
Right.
Instead of thinking through every step, he's reacting. He's in rhythm, and that's when you start to see a quarterback really take control. That's when you see command, not
It's
just
true.
running the offense, but owning it, right? So,
Mhm.
Give them guys a
And
couple minutes. Go ahead, driver.
I'm gonna say this, I don't want people to take it and run with it. I think Brad is going to be on the success side of things more than it's not going to be. Let me see how I can put this. I don't think he's going to just come out and people going to say, he should be the future offensive coordinator. And I'm not saying that I think he the best thing walking around in Carolina, but I do believe that he was able to sit back and watch Bryce and really like self scout the team and see
Yeah.
what like basically like what's best for us, the type of schemes we got to run.
Yeah.
And I think
Oh,
David
hey,
Canales.
hold that thought. Let
Okay.
me read the money right quick, and then you can finish your thought. So I apologize. I didn't see this, but reality beats 11 for 4.99 super chat. We appreciate that. He said Joe Parsons said the QB room behind Bryce looks terrible. I think we still need to draft a QB2. So we'll go ahead and hey, thank you for that 4.99 super chat of reality beats. We greatly appreciate that. Driver, will go ahead and finish your thought. Finish your thought. Damn. Finish your thought, and then I want to tap into this question real quick before we move on.
Let me make it quick. But yeah, I just don't think Canales, he really could get the best out of Bryce because I think he had so much on his plate just far as just trying to involve the wide receivers, get the offensive line up to speed, dealing with injuries with the wide receiver. I just think he had too much on his plate. And now
Yeah.
that he had to take a step back, I just think Brad is going to be able to. He's allowed to really get the most out of Bryce. I didn't think Canales did. I just think he kind of stabilized, like you brought up. Did he stabilize the quarterback room? I think he did in a certain extent. But
Right.
like I say, I just think Brad is going to do a better job. But I'm not saying that he's the best or he's someone
That's the
that
big what if though, driver. That's the big what if because that there's a lot of unknown when it comes to Brad Izzy.
Mhm.
We don't have no type of proof of concept with his play caller, and I know people want to talk about him calling plays in the preseason. It's not the same. It
No.
is not the same.
You're right.
But what about Bevel? What about Bevel being his dang on mentor and over his shoulder as he gets his reps and sets? Because Bevel is a proven commodity.
I think that would help
Yeah,
him.
I you know what? Because like you just said, Will, I've heard people say that quite a few times about Bevel, quote unquote, being over his shoulder. I don't think it's like that, like being over his shoulder and being in place just in case he messed up. Now I know you didn't say that, but I have heard other conversations where they have talked about that. Bevel was the offensive coordinator in Seattle that Brad Isaac and Dave Canales worked for. So they
Mhm.
know he knows this system, you know. Brad Isaac and Dave Canales left with the Tampa now in Carolina. Daryl Bevel came from Miami. I'm pretty sure there's some things about his play calling, some things about the offense that has evolved and things like that. I think by Brad Isaac being in the position for the first time, play calling, Dave Canales taking more of a role as being like a CEO of the team. Brad Bevel brings that consistency and that veteran presence that can help Brad Isn't make the transition when it comes to calling plays. He can bounce ideas off of Bevel. He can get input from Bevel. And this is an offense that they both know. And there
Mhm.
can be some intricacies, that can be implemented in this scheme because the plays are the plays. But
Mhm.
you can make little changes here and there, whether it's a route concept, a run blocking concept, think things of that nature, tweak some things here, add some things there. But the offense is going to be the offense. And I just think, in my opinion, I don't know this for sure, but I think Bevel is going to be more of a safety blanket, like a cushion, so to speak, than
Mm-hmm.
somebody that just
A
waiting
sounding
in the
board.
wings and waiting. Yeah, sound the boy instead of just waiting in the wings
Yeah.
for Brad Izzet to mess up, and then he was like, "Okay, I'm
Yeah.
taking over now." I don't think
No,
it's
I
gonna
don't
go
think
down
it's
like
that.
that.
No, I
I
don't
don't
think it's
think it's
that
gonna go
either.
down like that.
Right.
I don't think it's gonna go down like that either. I think that Bevel saying, hey, so if I was Bevel, if I, and it's just me, theorizing here. So
Yeah.
Bevel right now is scouting Chicago and Atlanta. He's scouting their
Mm-hmm.
film right now. He's figuring out, okay, these are the things that I want to give Isaac as ingredients when he puts together the game plan for the offense going into week 1.
Right.
Based off what I see the
Yeah.
offense doing, and I'm game planning, and then I'm going to give him some ingredients. I'm moving on to Detroit while he's planning for Chicago,
Atlanta ain't.
and then
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta and Chicago, while he's planning for Chicago, and then we do sequences. I can say, hey, have you considered this? Have you considered that? Okay, good. And then move on.
Right.
That's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking
Right.
about. He has somebody that can scout the team a week ahead of time, getting him prepared and have cutups and things, and then give him the ingredients for Bevel for Isaac to make some choices.
Right.
I think, and that's
Yeah.
what I was talking about, like over his shoulder, not over his shoulder. Some people have been saying that, oh yeah, he's waiting in the wings. I don't think that's the case at all. I think that they have such
Right.
a good relationship with each other. I don't think that they would ever even think that it's that way.
Mm-mm.
Okay. All
I
right.
think having
Anybody else got anything?
I think having that continuity with the coaching would also help with the play calling and things like that, because as you mentioned, Will, Dave Canales and Brad Izzig worked underneath Bevel, so I mean that continuity is something that he understands and that he can help them out with that, especially a first time play caller in Brad Izzig, who's still very green. He's just been here the whole time.
Yeah. All right. Let me read some of these chats. I know I'm kind of behind on them, and then we can move on to this final topic. So go back to my comments up here. Where did we leave off at? Yeah, I think right here. Frankie C23 said the whole league knows if it passes coming, the mouse is going to roll out.
Uh,
I'm not even going to ask who the mouse is. I think we kind of
and
I think we go ahead, Fred.
comments like that is just trolling. We can't pay attention to that.
It's all good. It's all good. Hey, it's all good. Ain't nothing wrong with a good troll every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nothing. CJ said, "Come on now."
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about. And see, Mr. Big Walk. Hey, what's up, Mr. Big Walk? Appreciate you tapping in to the morning kickoff with Unbiased Opinion. The second episode. Definitely glad that you are here. Hopefully that we will continue to see you in the future. So Mr. Big Walk said, I personally think Dave gets too much blame for Bryce inconsistency. Is he an all-world play caller? No, sir. But there was clear answers and wins, and it wasn't executed. Hey, two things can be true at the same time, Mr. Big Walk. Two things can be true at the same time. But when it comes to inconsistency, and you talking about from the quarterback who is the CEO of your offense, and you are the CEO and play caller of the team for the offense, you have to be consistent in what you do. And to me, that trickles down to the rest of your guys. Let me give you an example. And I know Will know exactly what I mean by this. You know, serving in the military and being a squad leader, you know, you come it comes what you do on a daily basis becomes routine. And people feed off of what you do on a routine basis, especially if it's something that's beneficial and positive and they can learn from it. So it ain't always about you saying something or telling somebody something or what to do. You just go and do it. And when they see that you do it, then they know to do it as well. You know what I'm saying? So that to me, that's like the mark of a leader. You know what I'm saying? It's not do what I say, but do as I do. And I know all of us have parents and we have all heard that. You know what I'm saying? So in that analogy, when you are Dave Canales and you're not consistent with what you do, i.e. the play calling, then you can't expect that your quarterback or the offense is going to have consistency because they are executing the play that you called in. So when we talk about last year and we talk about the game before the 448 and the game after the 448, those 3 games was different as it is night and day. And though that was part of the up and downs that we seen all year. So for me, that's where I think a lot, not all of it, but I think a lot of the inconsistency comes in when we talk about Dave Canales. And I do honestly believe a lot of that can trickle down or has trickled down into Bryce. Go ahead, Freddie. You gonna say something?
No. I was just gonna say that you hit it on the head, Tony.
All right. So we'll vote. So CJ said Mr. Big Wall agreed. He's not catching all the blame, but there were some games where he called plays like a 3-year-old. Facts.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't say like a 3-year-old, but
it was definitely it was definitely inconsistent
yeah.
play calling. That
Right.
that is something
Right.
that I saw with my own eyes.
CJ also said then most games he was great. That's a fact.
That's
That's
true.
the inconsistency. And that was something that was publicly known. That's something that we amongst Panther podcasters, fans, the reporters, the beat reporters that's in the locker room, they asked Dave Canales about the inconsistency, the up or down, the roller coaster to the season, and how he can do a better job in handling that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I know we see it, if we can see it, they can see it as well.
Right.
All right. So Frankie said we need a QB1. Okay, Frankie, you can have that. CJ said Dave had dreams of JC and Mike Jack playing at the 277 exit.
Oh my gosh, stupid. It's stupid.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's funny.
I know we're gonna crack up about that later. So let's see. Vietnam, what's going on, Vietnam? Shout out to you, my guy. Thank you for pulling up again, because I know you was here yesterday for the morning kickoff with Unbiased Opinion. So we're glad to see you here for day 2. He said good morning, Panther Nation. Y'all, yeah, top of the morning to you. You know it's almost 5 o'clock where I'm at.
Good
so
morning.
ain't no such thing as morning right now. And CJ say Vietnam salute. All right. So we're gonna move over to question 3, and this is the final question topic for the show. It said, what would Bryce Young proof look like on film? What would it look like on film? So here's the facts. We already talked about his production has improved a little bit. The Panthers have a better support system than they had early in his career. I believe the next step has to show up in the details, not just the box score. Okay, the film has to show whether Bryce is controlling the offense or just operating what is given to him. I want to touch on that real quick because there were times. There's times I've heard other people on other panels talking about, oh, Bryce can't. He don't know how to read defenses. He don't know how to audible. He just takes the play caller and he just goes from there and he sticks to his first read and his first read only as a quarterback. Now, whether they truly believe that or not, or that was just smoke being thrown in the air for the sake of conversation, I was like, if you got a quarterback on your team that plays quarterback, that plays quarterback as that quarterback was described, then you should be fired. You should be fired for having that quarterback on your team, having that quarterback as your QB1. Whoever is responsible for drafting him need to be fired. Like, everybody need to be fired because that's not an NFL quarterback. You know, and I know it's probably coming in a way of disdain, for Bryce, because we got our Bryce haters out there.
We do.
You got people that love Bryce, and people that hate Bryce. But that is just beyond asinine when it comes to describing Bryce Young and his play when there's, as we're talking about right now on film, there's plenty of proof that shows you that he knows how to audible. He knows how to switch protection at the line of scrimmage, and he takes his time and reads the defense. I don't know what else he has to do to prove to people that he can do the opposite of what a lot of people feel like he can do.
Like he can't read a defense, and also question. I have a question on what they mean by that. Like, because like some plays, and you go back, because I also do film study on Bryce Young, so this is my shit. And watching this play, sometimes Ted is the third or fourth read on the backside of the play. He's not even the one read. He's the backside read. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand on how you could, just because he's the number one doesn't mean he's the first read in the progression. That's not how that works. Like, I understand he's the wide receiver one, but it depends on what side he's on. If he's on the field side, I'm talking Bryce's blind side, he's the backside read. He's the third or fourth option. He's not even the first read.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I think they get
Reality B said, "Oh, go ahead, Fred. Fred. My bad."
What I said is I think people has that like misconstrued when they say like he's a one read quarterback. He's not, because watching most of the plays, Ted is the backside read, and that's the third or fourth option on the blind side of Bryce Young. So he can't be a one read quarterback because he has to go from his strong side to his blind side.
Mm-hmm.
You provide
very
facts into a conversation. Letting facts
Would
get
say
in the
Will?
way. He's letting facts get in the way of somebody feeling that Bryce is a one read quarterback. He's allowing facts to get in the way.
Yeah. A Reality said, "Don't forget my super chat." And I read your super chat, Reality, the $4.99. Yeah, I gave you a shout out. Gave you a shout out for that. I'll do it again. So he said Joe Parsons said the QB room behind Bryce looks terrible. I think we still need to draft a QB too. Yeah, appreciate that $4.99 super chat. Reality Beats 11. Appreciate it. So let me go back. Oh, here we go. So yeah, I was reading the context, so I had to stop at that point right there. I had to stop at that point right there. Let's see where I leave off at. Oh, okay, here it is. So yeah, the film room proof for Bryce Young is not just about hitting a couple of big throws down the field. When you really sit down and watch him, that is what you're looking for. So you want to see if his command at the line of scrimmage is good. Is he on time with the first read? Um, there's a lot of things that we have mentioned. We've talked about getting, that Bryce probably needs to improve on. I think there's a lot of things that there's proof that he actually does. Okay, I think there's proof of a lot of things that he actually does. So I'm gonna pull up this last question. I think I had it up there before, or it's already up there. Oh yeah, I took it off. My bad. All right. So here we're gonna go straight to the debate question. So the question is, what will Bryce Young proof look like on film? So the question is, given Bryce Young's improved numbers, what matters more now? More statistical production or better film proof in command, timing, pocket management, and third down execution? So, driver, I'm gonna let you start off with that one.
I think third down, probably a little bit more where I kind of lean towards. I think that'll kind of, um, give us keep the chains moving because I think he's pretty good on fourth down. So if he can manage to turn that third down into a high percentage, I think that'll be a big leap on his part this year, on the way that he's been growing as a quarterback.
Okay. Will?
Hey, Will.
My bad. I was trying to go off mute. I think that I think consistency is going to matter here more than anything. I think everything is set up. All he has to do is show from week one, snap one to week 18, final snap, that it's
Okay.
all the same. It's all the same. If he could do that, I think that we're in a location, we're in a position that we haven't been in since Cam.
Okay, Freddie, what you think?
Um, I think both could be said and both are true. I think both of them hit it on the head. Is that consistency matters for both. I think the third down is key because that's the money down. I think with the third downs, giving more, you know, opportunities on the field and third down would equal to the stats being increased. I think both work one in the same. So I would say like both are needed as a whole. That is my opinion, but that's just the way I feel.
So you going for third down?
Uh, yeah, I would go more so third down, the money down.
Okay. All right. And Will, what did you say?
So it's
Which
the
one was
money
the most
down.
important? The money
It's
down?
third down.
All right.
It's the money down
All
is
right,
the
will
third.
you,
The third down is the
if
most
y'all
important.
can type y'all answer in the chat. So the third poll is up and say, what is the biggest Bryce Young proof point? Is it third down, red zone, pocket movement, or command of the offense? Excuse me. So I'm gonna leave that up for a few minutes and let you guys tap in on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my closing statement so we can get up out of here. All right. So today's show is not about tearing Bryce Young down. It's not about crowning him too early either. It's about being fair. That balance that I talked about earlier, right? He has earned a better conversation than the one he had earlier in his career, which I believe that is true. But this is proof week. No more projection. No more he might be or just wait. Okay. The next step is production with context. The next step is film that matches the numbers. Um, Bryce showing command, timing in the pocket control, third down answers, and red zone execution. So here's the final point. Bryce Young does not have to prove he belongs in the NFL anymore. He's already there. Now he has to prove what level of quarterback he is and what he wants to be. Whether it's a game manager, a solid starter, franchise quarterback, that answer has to show up on the field. So again, the progress is real. Proof is still required. Production matters. Film matters. And that's what it is. So thank you for tuning in to the morning kickoff with Unbiased Opinion. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the content with a friend or family member who loves real football talk. And if you want even more, consider becoming a member on Patreon and subscribing to the YouTube channel. The links to the YouTube, Twitter, Patreon is in the description, the comment description. That didn't make sense. It's in the description below, above the comments. Yeah, I think that's where it's at, but it's in there. So, and if you feel in your heart that you want to donate to the channel because the show was good today, and you want to support the show, there's a QR code right here at the top right that you can scan with your phone, and it take you to the PayPal account. And I would greatly appreciate it if you did that as well. All right. So, yeah. Again, today was about Bryce and the next step. All right. Real football talk. And as always, keep pounding.